With every update that comes along from Modern Warfare, and really any game, but a lot of the times within Call of Duty, we see more things introduced on the back end that are tethered to the current build. A lot of the times, we see things still in development and things that are meant for the future, but for whatever reasoning, these items can't be unattached, so they're shown a little too early in the newest builds for those that know how to find them in the game files. And well, update 1.28 was no exception. We saw a wide range of new content introduced in secrecy that will likely be rolling out over the course of the next few weeks, and that's what we're going to be discussing here in this video. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What of these leaks are you looking forward to the most? Perhaps the teases of a new event coming within Modern Warfare and Warzone? Perhaps the confirmation of maybe a new weapon? Perhaps the bundles that were added in for the rest of Season 6? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and of course Black Ops Cold War as we round into weekend 2 of the beta here coming up tomorrow, and then the full launch in what is now less than a month away, which is kind of crazy to think about. If you'd like to help us out on that road to 400,000 subscribers and join the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, a huge thank you and shout out to Simu, Cynical, Gaming Dominari, and Grind for the love and supporting the channel a little further by using code ESPRESSO in the Modern Warfare shop. If you end up using my code for any purchases, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out your generous support. But anyways, let's talk about leaks and content for the future. First things first, as always with leaked content, a disclaimer. What we're going to be discussing here is still intellectual property of Infinity Ward and Activision, and as such, I cannot display most of the items or visuals that were data mined on screen for you, but I'll do the best of my ability to explain and detail them as thoroughly as I can. Now, this information also comes from a wide range of contributors: Josh Woo Cool, The Gaming Revolution, Modern Warzone, Nanikos, and others. Links can be provided down below if you wish to seek more information. Let's start out with one that's actually kind of bigger, but doesn't necessarily come from the game files being pulled, but instead one that I think I can actually show you because it's from inside the playable game. That being what could be a new pistol. Now, I've seen a few tweets about this since, but a follower of mine, David, tweeted me this earlier in the afternoon when playing against bots and trying to get used to the new AA-12 or JAK-12 shotgun. Apparently, some bots in-game are actually dropping a pistol that's not finished in texturing and an overall build. And this looks strangely like the Makarov pistol that we've seen in Call of Duty before, but it's like the AN-94, a weapon that we've seen not in the Modern Warfare franchise, but has been seen in COD with Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. So it very well could be something that makes its first introduction if this does in fact come to the game at some point in time. Now, this is really interesting to me because this is the first we've seen anything in regards to a new pistol, and it's at a stage in which it's basically built out, but not necessarily finished, meaning that it's still in production, it's still being worked on, which could further hint at the fact that we may very well have a Season 7 coming our way just after the launch of Black Ops Cold War. Now, we talked about Season 7 here and the possibility of that a couple of days ago on the channel, so if you want to check that out, we do have a full video breaking down everything that we know in terms of what could be hinting towards that, but this may just be furthering that idea a little further, which is definitely interesting. Another thing that was pulled from the game files here and has actually been shared by COD Tracker, so I can show this a little further here for you guys, and we don't get necessarily to that stuff that I can't show just yet. This time around, as I'm sure you probably would have guessed, we have a lot of thematic bundles added into the shop coming in the next couple of weeks as well. Some very Halloween-esque bundles like the Dr. Karlov Lives bundle, the Saw bundle, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre bundle. The Dr. Karlov Lives bundle comes with arc lightning electrical tracer rounds for the AK-47 and MP7, plus a cool Bale blueprint as Dr. Karlov. The Saw bundle comes with Morty as Jigsaw and a themed CR-56 AMAX and Model 680, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is Velikan as Leatherface with a Finn and MP5 blueprint coming along with that as well. Now, there's also other Halloween-themed gift bundles, so it's things that you can just redeem for free and doesn't charge you anything. These are a bit more minor things, but there's some really cool blueprints in other bundles as well that'll be added later on down the line. I'll leave the link down there in the description below to the article detailing all of these if you want to check it out for yourself. But what I'm kind of surprised with is that COD actually shelled out for licensing rights for the first time in a while. I mean, we don't even have some of these weapons in-game as their licensed name for their real-life counterparts, but we have now direct ties to a few horror movie franchises in Modern Warfare. I do find that kind of funny, but at the same time, I am pretty happy. Infinity Ward has in the past had a great track record of really cool DLC, my favorites being Ghosts DLC with Predator as a field order drop, same with Mike Myers, Snoop Dogg, and other voice packs, and there's been other cool DLC that Infinity Ward has done in the past, so it's cool to see them getting back to their old form here with this, but those were added in as well with this update. Then we see a little bit more confirmation of Griggs coming. He had more assets finally added into it, finishing out his character, and basically it looks like he's just geared up and ready to go, just basically awaiting that flip of the switch to make his bundle go live. But this is further compounding on the stuff that we already knew he was going to be coming with because of the Season 6 marketing and promotional material as well, so that one really shouldn't come as a surprise, but he's ready to get in the fight. But that's stuff that really isn't data mined per se, but now we get to that stuff that we can't really showcase just yet because it's not quite public. Now, firstly, let's talk about the Haunting of Verdansk. This update is seemingly going to be happening as of next week, likely with that mid-season update, the Season 6 Reloaded, because that is when the Haunting event is scheduled to start as of right now, based upon the roadmap we have had for the last couple of weeks. Before this, we end up getting some information from Nenikos, Joshua Cool, and BK Tour, in which we end up getting some promo material, which just showcases the sort of marketing for this in a horror movie poster style. We end up seeing that there are some settings here that you may be able to turn off some of these jump scares and what is going to be coming as well in terms of the more horror-esque things if you want, so it doesn't detract from your experience overall in the game. There's an image of what looks to be the new zombies mode in Warzone once all the lights go out and then it becomes Warzone at night. That's an LTM we've known about for a little bit of time, but it seems to be creeping up on us ever so faster. Those jump scares were actually detailed, in which they do look pretty creepy, in which if you were to play in a darker corner of the map and it just happens there and pops up on you, it might give you a little bit of a wake-up call or a jolt here to grab your attention back into the game. How these will be activated, we have no idea, whether it's a part of an Easter egg, whether it's completely random. We'll have to wait and see. That's some stuff that we know about of the Haunting of Verdansk event, but really we still are missing a lot of probably key and integral information. We just have these pieces that don't necessarily connect one-to-one just yet, but where it starts to get crazy is that of what looks to be like perhaps the final event within Warzone, the coup de grace of Warzone within Modern Warfare, because we see a little bit more of Alcatraz. We talked about how Alcatraz was weirdly enough added into the game files, or at least some image assets of it showcasing it in the middle of Season 5. But the thing is that this was always really strange because Alcatraz was, of course, a blackout thing. It was something that utilized blackout physics. But to see it come over into Warzone with an entirely different engine, entirely different playstyle, that would have been weird. But it looks to be even more weird because it ties directly into the storyline. We saw that this was updated, in which we have a new reference image. We have more named locations that are different from what they were beforehand. Nova 6 is now referenced in both the files as well as the newest and upcoming intel missions, but Alcatraz also seems to be called Rebirth Island in the new lore within the missions and the storyline unfolding there, but also could be something we see coming up as an integral piece to this event. And that's where things really get crazy, because Rebirth is that nuke event, apparently, according to the Gaming Revolution, within Warzone. We'll likely be talking about this more in depth in a standalone video, maybe this weekend or early next, because there's a lot to unpack here with this. But apparently the Rebirth is an event that looks to change what is happening in Warzone, and it could be that nuke event, and the intel missions seem to be pointing towards that with multiple explosions, but we are definitely getting closer to something really big happening within Warzone. So maybe that's something that transitions us over then into what could be Black Ops Cold Warzone. We don't exactly know. But Alcatraz and an event look to be coming up here sometime in the near future. For that, I'm incredibly excited, but that's where we're gonna wrap it up. That's what we have here leaked out of update 1.28 and what happened here within the last 24 hours. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. What are you looking forward to here out of this? Anything in particular you guys are really interested with? Maybe not so much, whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, Warzone, and of course, Black Ops Cold War. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I live on both those, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.